Splash, splash mountain. Zippity doo dah. Splash mountain. Zippity hey. My oh my. Zip.
These are some of the things that were in those emails from Hillary Clinton and from John Podesta.
Tesla is pretty much a surveillance vehicle at this point. It's powered by electricity, which could be turned off at any moment. In fact, in China right now, if you have a poor social credit score, you can't charge your Tesla.
Man, he a cold motherfucker. This a Charlie Davidson, y'all. Take me around the Charlie Davidson. Okay, what we got?
President Nixon called the moon on a landline in 1969.
So let me get this straight. You watched 6 women get on what is clearly a CGI phallus and actually believe that they went to space for just 11 minutes. I mean, the moon landings look more real than this.
Ignition. Right away, Houston.
The Earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election.
A vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
Bro, wasn't Israel and Iran about to start World War III?
Yeah, there were explosions, sirens, TikToks with red filters, and now just ceasefire?
12 days. That's how long the chaos lasted. Just enough for headlines to scream, while the Genius Act slid through the Senate like butter.
They're going to start using your pictures, your posts, your poems, everything about you that you do on your account, and they're going to start to use that information to train their AI algorithms.
So the Grateful Dead were feds. Courtney Love's dad was the manager of the Grateful Dead. Courtney Love was used to sell heroin into the grunge scene, and Kurt Cobain is wearing this t-shirt. Where does this rabbit hole take us?
When you see the rabbis giving the rabbinical blessing, just remember it's connected to the goat god.
They have to do the mass ritual where they are disfigured to show the evil entity that is working through them.
We have faced so much like bullying and judgment and everything. So I think that's the main reason that puts us together, because we have each other's backs.
They walking like Dino Lion and cheating, keep jacking my lane and running. These rappers gon' end up leaking. Like that. Telling people that phony water is crap.
Pastor Manning, you said that Starbucks was putting semen of the sodomites in their coffee.
Big swimming areas with a lot of people. And I'm telling you right now, if you knew what was in the water, you would never even dip your toe in it again.
How many people have died because of what Doge did at USAID? So far, 55,000 adults have died of AIDS in the 4 months since Trump was elected. 6,000 children are dead because of what Doge did. That's just PEPFAR, the HIV. You add them all up, that's 300,000 dead, and we're 4 months in.
This is wild. How are there 2 moons?
There's 2 moons.
But how do you get a fossil fish in the first place? Look at the beautiful state of preservation of that fish. Well, here's a fish about to have his breakfast, doesn't get time to swallow it before he's buried and fossilized. You can't preserve a fossil like that where he's just about to take a chomp and he's frozen in an instant. In fact, here's another example from a museum in Germany. That's a marine reptile, 6 feet long, giving birth to a baby. 1 minute, mother is about to give birth to a baby. Split second later, she's buried in tons and tons of mud. Fossilization had to be catastrophic, virtually instant and rapid. Or these crinoids. Look at the heads of those crinoids or coelides. They're delicate. They have been preserved. Or the wings of this wasp. How do you fossilize a wasp like that if it's not rapidly and catastrophically buried?
This man made a unique discovery 14 years ago. He had a dream where something strange pointed to a place and ordered him to dig for the next 14 years in a small town in Armenia. The man, armed with only determination and the support of his relatives, tirelessly excavated in a rocky terrain, and when they came across clear vessels and various artifacts hinting at the existence of something important buried beneath the surface, they continued digging with double zeal. It was only after 14 years of hard work that they stumbled upon a passage into a mysterious structure. Once inside, it turned out that there were many leadership books and a huge sarcophagus with black liquid.
This is lava, and it's the coldest lava on Earth. You're looking at rare eruption footage from Oldoinho Lengai, a volcano in the East African Rift Zone. The lava is so cold compared to other lavas that it doesn't even glow, except dimly at night. a mountain guide, fell into this lava in 2007 and was able to climb out alive. After it erupts, this black lava reacts with the air and turns white, breaking down into dust. One researcher who was camping at the summit wrote, "The dust crunches between our teeth when we eat." It's relatively cold because of its chemistry. It's the only lava on Earth that is based on carbon instead of silica. That makes its melting point low, and even stranger, makes it less viscous than liquid water. Its unique chemistry also leads to unique structures, like these brittle frozen geysers and these towering white cones called hornitos that are sometimes hollow and big enough for a human to explore inside. The lava is also chock full of rare earth minerals, making it the most valuable volcano on the planet. But I prefer it as a protected landmark rather than an open pit mine.
Seed spires are soil and native wildflower seed sculptures. They are designed to bloom and feed our pollinators and then crumble back into the earth. These 8-sided, 6-foot-tall pyramid structures are the forms in which we build these soil sculptures. Then comes the release, the moment that we wait for, and we unscrew our form and open it like a book, and out comes this very precise, clearly human-made form. The seeds have been germinating inside of their forms, so the little wildflower sprouts are bursting forth and creating these very fuzzy spires. And with a little water and care, the sprouts do what they do and become these kind of lush tapestries of foliage, which eventually give way to beautiful blossoms to feed our pollinators. After the bloom, the plants go to seed and spread life for the next generation.
That ain't for me and her to be getting into, bro. But the other night she called me on the phone. I'm telling you, bro, I ain't had nothing to tell her. You know what I called her, bro? What you call straight up, she got offended, but straight up, I laid up there and called that hoe a nasty bitch. Don't come at me talking that shit, nasty bitch. Get on your knees and do that lick, bitch, nasty bitch.
You okay? You have bronchitis? I just want to let you know that that's very cringe.
That's not one guy! He's not one! No! He's live streaming this! Oh god! No! 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 I know you! I'm so good! Oh my god!
See you on TikTok.
Yeah!
In December 2023, I shared a Human Rights Watch post, because Human Rights Watch found that Israel was using starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza. It is now June 2025, and Palestinian children are still being starved. We see their images every day, emaciated, skeletal, scavenging through the rubble for scraps. This unspeakable suffering is not accidental, it is engineered. Deliberately starving and killing children is a war crime. Today the court has found that punishing someone for sharing facts about these war crimes is also illegal. I was punished for my political opinion.
Is actually a hexagram, which was the original astronomical symbol for the planet Saturn. Saturn was always pictured in the ancient astronomical text during the Middle Ages and the medieval times as a Star of David, six-pointed star, two triangles interposed. The Babylonians would draw a triangle on the ground and then draw an opposing triangle, making the six-pointed star or hexagram, then draw a circle around that hexagram and stand inside of it. Now you're inside the magic circle, putting the hex on someone. So that's where we get the word putting the hex on you, is because the six-pointed star is a hex. So today we have Jews going around the world proud to show you that they've got the hex put on them. The Phoenician language, Saturn is spelled Shabbath. Shabbath in the Phoenician language is Saturn. And from Shabbath we get Sabbath. So therefore the Hebrew Sabbath is the worship of the goat god connected to the planet Saturn. That's why the Hebrews have their holy days or Sabbath on sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday night, because that's Saturn, or Saturn's day, or Saturday.
Inside this very warehouse sits the entire inventory of liquid death mountain water. Each can is about to be infused with real demons by a real witch.
A lot of what I practice can be considered traditional witchcraft.
What you're about to witness is very real, very dangerous, and in my opinion, a terrible idea.
We enter into the dark half of the year. Now is the time of the dead. I ask you, spirits, those who are listening, I invite you here. I offer this water as a vessel for you to come into this world. When the cans are opened, you are released. I welcome you.
My uncle called me and told me to go to the village. He had a pre-wedding coming up and he wanted to look good. I was in a rush, so I didn't bring any modern tool with me. I was using a plumb ball to find the level of his head. Since I didn't bring any clipper, I used the saw to cut the hair. His own child had to sacrifice his own hair for his dad. And also because I did not carry a glue, I had to use the sodium apple as the village best glue. Bro, that thing is stinging! He was begging for mercy, but I had no mercy on him because they did not want us to pay much dowry at the rural show. At this moment, he was just staring at his girlfriend. I proceeded to line up his hairline with the sharpest saw in the whole village. I had to be careful with it because if I could have done a slightly mistake, it could have ripped bro's head into pieces. As I was in the middle of the haircut, I saw the village chief passing by and he was surprised to see my uncle with his head full of hair, and no words could explain how excited he was to see himself with hair. And with this type of confidence, he was ready to go marry his longtime girlfriend.
What history will never tell you is we've had and still have free energy. These are the remnants of our hidden technological past. We can see previous civilizations were far more advanced beyond anything we'd imagined, let alone anything we've been told. And they hide this because they want to hide the Yugas, the Golden Age. All these temples and buildings of the old world were built with a purpose. No element of antiquity was just random decoration. Everything served a specific function. They were harnessing kinetic energy and converting it into electrical power, and harnessing the ether above. I mean, the sole existence, let alone construction of these structures, is beyond comprehension, with undeviating geometric symmetry. You mean to tell me they built this with hammer and chisels? It's time we understand the historical narratives we've been fed are not designed for us. It's for them. Just about everything we've been taught about the past is utter bullshit. And the buildings and structures that remain are a testament to that.
Let's break down exactly how NASA says it worked. NASA's official explanation. NASA says Nixon's call to the Apollo 11 astronauts was a standard telephone call, but it was relayed through an advanced communication system. Here's how it supposedly worked. Nixon used a regular landline at the White House. The call was routed through NASA's Mission Control in Houston. Houston then transmitted Nixon's voice to the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex in California, which had an 85-foot radio antenna. The signal was beamed 239,000 miles to the moon, where the lunar module's VHF radio picked it up. Armstrong and Aldrin responded, and their voices were sent back to Earth the same way. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it shouldn't have worked. The problems with the moon phone call 1. The missing signal delay. The moon is 239,000 miles away, and radio signals take 1.3 seconds one way, meaning Nixon's call should have had at least a 2.6-second delay in responses. Yet, in the broadcast, Armstrong and Aldrin respond instantly, faster than even 1960s transatlantic calls. Even if Mission Control relayed the call instantly, you'd still hear the delay in the astronauts' responses, but there's barely any. 2. The weak lunar transmitter. The lunar module's radio had only 12 watts of power.
So let me get this straight. You watched 6 women get on what is clearly a CGI phallus and actually believe that they went to space for just 11 minutes. I mean, the moon landings look more real than this.
Ignition. Right away, Houston.
This is nothing more than a Hollywood production. Beyond the obvious fertility ritual, who actually believes this is real? They are mocking you.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Something everyone's been noticing is one of the bimbos mistakenly opens the door from the inside. Bezos and his partner panic, trying to get in front of the door and shut it like you can't do that. They laugh, and once the embarrassment fades out, Bezos uses his special tool supposedly needed to open up the hatch, when we've already seen it be open from the inside. Like, that's not supposed to happen. This is not your average door. Any real pressurized sealed door opens from the outside. It's supposed to be pressurized, locked, and sealed. Now, pay attention to the size of the capsule when they're landing versus when they're up close. Like what is that? Alright, now look at the size of the capsule compared to Bezos. And then look at the size of the capsule when he's doing the rescue. It literally shrinks half the size. And then there's this mannequin somebody forgot to remove. And as if the name New Shepard wasn't blasphemous enough, when you look at their flight patches, you see the Baphomet clear as day. See, the Illuminati controllers, the handlers, whatever you want to call them, they always leave their symbols hidden in plain sight to mark their work. You have Katy Perry throwing up the MK Ultra Monarch butterfly, which is all about programming and brainwashing the victim. What you have is a bunch of influencers that are clearly controlled by the system one way or another. See, anything regarding space travel or space is just a propaganda gimmick. It's a publicity stunt to warp your perception of reality, giving you the illusion of progress when reality is all fake. They never go anywhere, but they move forward in your mind.
She didn't really close it again. She didn't really close it again.
Glorilla, and she had to wear this mask during the Coachella performance. They have to do the mask ritual where they are disfigured to show the evil entity that is working through them. And this is Kai Cenat. He did this on one of his streams. He put this on and chased the guy around the room and did all of this. So this is all a part of what they have to do. And Weekend, he brought the robot on stage and did his whole concert around it just to show it. And then he wore this. So they're showing you that they are no longer operating under their power.
Remdesivir was too unethical to put into Ebola clinical trials in Africa because it had a 53% kill rate published in medical journals. Ebola doesn't have a 53% kill rate, but it was chosen in April and May of 2020 to be the drug of choice to treat COVID. This drug was too unethical to use in an African clinical trial because it was killing 53% of the people that it was given to. And we had Anthony Fauci, Deborah Birx sitting next to the president going, we need to use remdesivir, despite the fact that the World Health Organization said it was unethical to use it. Here's the problem. The problem is, as long as the financial interest that dictates what product is going to be promoted is the one making the declaration of the pandemic, we have no possibility for accountability. We have no possibility for justice. And what we do is we allow people who were formed out of the eugenics office, Carnegie Mellon in 1913, that same group of people that were the same group of people that established the World Health Organization in 1953, that same group of people are the ones who are making this decision.
Wait, they signed peace over coffee or what?
It wasn't a war. Turns out it was just another theater for people.
So while we were doom scrolling,
they passed digital dollar infrastructure, biometric ID integration, financial behavior monitoring, and no one blinked because they were too busy asking, is this World War III?
Wait, didn't they say Iran's nuke sites got hit?
Yeah, and yet not a single mushroom cloud, no mushroom emoji in sight. Where's the fallout? Where's the radiation mess?
So you're saying...
I'm saying it was a distraction ritual, controlled chaos to mask real control.
But why fake a war?
When you're distracted, you don't see what they're building behind the curtain, because when you're scared, you obey.
And the Genius Act?
It doesn't just replace money, it replaces identity. You become a programmable user.
But people don't even know this past.
That's the point. Just like nothing ever happens. Your soul, willpower, health, and energy are drained daily while you sit in front of a screen, eat garbage, listen to lies, and argue about theatrical events. 2010, real money still existed. 2015, things got tougher, but manageable. 2020, inflation, virus, lockdowns. 2023, prices, rent, food, everything up. 2025, survival became the new normal, and no one noticed because it's happening slowly.
So what's next?
You're not walking into a future. You're sliding into a system, a biometric funnel, where freedom is an illusion with a progress bar.
So we lost and didn't even know?
Exactly. The world didn't end. It just got a new terms of service.
I mean, you've got literally millions of people around the world who really think that, you know, the taste of semen is quite a flavor, and they seek it in the midst of other kinds of activities. And so one would think, well, all right, not one would think, Starbucks has deduced that, listen, you know, in an ingenious way, I would say that we're more than infamous, ingenious way, they've discovered that since people like semen,
fastest hot dog shooter in the Northwest, I've never seen nobody be able to do this. I can do it quick, okay? I'm just saying.
Which is crazy. What happens when that gets introduced in the West and everybody has an electric vehicle? It's a mechanism of control. You have one kill switch and you can basically turn off all sorts of travel. Think about it. Regulation says you can't leave 5 kilometers from your house. Oh, well, you don't want to comply? We're tracking through your car. Your car has Wi-Fi. Turn off the car. Boom.
So this is trippy. You can actually see the batteries through the back of the remote with an Oculus.
Yo, what is Google trying to tell us? I saw a video do this, I did not believe it, so I did it myself, and it's true. Okay, going through the dates, one at a time. First, 2024. And it's just normal stuff, right? 2024, okay. Wait till you see what 2025 is. You can't make this stuff up. What is this? What is this? That, like, what's going on? Did you see the gas mask in the first one? What is this? Watch this. 2026, back to normal, right? But wait until you see 2027. Whoa, hold on there. What's going on with this? It's about to get really weird in 1 second. 2028 is the craziest one. Almost. 2028. 2028, the end? 2028, Finn? 2028, the rapture? 2028, what is this? You guys, are you serious? All over the freaking place. Why? Watch 2029. The very end, supposedly, by Google. Meteors hitting the Earth. Like, the very, very end. And the funniest part is 2030. Watch how we go from, like, the rapture and the end and asteroids into, like, just this futuristic new world. All of a sudden, we're in a new world. Look at this beside me. Look at that. So all of a sudden, we just transform into a new life. Odd.
How many people have died because of what Doge did at USAID? So far, 55,000 adults have died of AIDS in the 4 months since Trump was elected. 6,000 children are dead because of what Doge did. That's just PEPFAR, the HIV. You add them all up, that's 300,000 dead, and we're 4 months in. Accumulate that over 4 years, the number of dead grows very high. There are mass murderers in the world. Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, Stalin. We don't have anybody on the list from America. And I don't think it's the same as committing the kind of genocide they did. But by taking away that agency and being at least semi-responsible for the deaths of probably by the end of this hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, that's Elon Musk's legacy. And the people who work at Tesla and SpaceX, what do you want to think about that?
This is the only one like it in the United States. Charlie Davidson Ranger LS series.
What do you call it, Charlie?
A Charlie Davidson.
LS, like
a Ranger LS. This motherfucker got some cup holders, y'all.
Cup holders. Under compartment, and that's a motion sensor light.
He say motion count. Just when he bag up, goddamn, it's gonna beep on y'all ass. Beep, beep.
I ain't thought of that yet.
Shit, he even got the mirrors on this bitch, boy.
Yeah. This is the back rack back here.
That motherfucker, hold on, we gotta go around this motherfucker. He even got a love seat.
This ain't the best part.
He got the seat for the old lady in the back, y'all.
If her ass is wider than that, she can't get on.
Goddamn, you better, hey, he said this motherfucker too low for a fat hoe, y'all. Goddamn it. That boy even he gonna hook some shit up and tow it. He ain't playing, got the spare tires on that motherfucker. Charlie, you a cold motherfucker, boy. Hey, if a motherfucker want to get a Charlie Davidson, man, how they get a hold of you?
My phone number is, that's 260. That's 423-260.
423-260, y'all.
7920.
7920. Come get you a Charlie Davidson, man. This motherfucker hard right here.
We build the suit.
Hey, we build the suit.
Quote, I think Obama spent about $65,000 of the taxpayers' money flying in pizza/dogs from Chicago for a private party at the White House not long ago. Assume we are using the same channels? Just think about $65,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs. Does that fit on a plane? Or are they talking about something else? Because then in another email, and these are verbatim quotes from these emails, quote, "We plan to heat the pool, so a swim is a possibility. Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby, Emerson, and Maeve Luzado, 11, 9, and almost 7, because it's really important you know that they're young children. So you'll have some further entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure."
So someone asked me to spill the tea on why I'll never get in a community pool or spa. Do not watch this any further if you have a weak stomach. This is going to gross you out to the max. I take care of a lot of HOA, apartment pools, commercial pools, big swimming areas with a lot of people. And I'm telling you right now, if you knew what was in the water, you would never even dip your toe in it again. So let's start with this. Chlorine, it doesn't really just magically make the water clean. When you've got about 100 people a day in just one body of water, everything off of their body, it ends up in there too. Sunscreen, lotion, sweat, deodorant, makeup, hair products, grease, pee, you name it, it's in there. Now, when all of that builds up, that foam on top of the spa, that's not just like bubbles that are created because the water's churning really fast. That's actually chemical soup of body oils, pee, detergent, and just filth. And for mucus discharge. Yeah, so chlorine actually opens up your pores and your sinuses, which means every person in there is literally leaking from their nose, their mouth, and the pores on their body. So that like water, whether it be in the spa or the pool, it's full of boogers, snot, phlegm, mouth spit. If you're sitting in a spa or in a pool and you open your mouth even once, you're basically tasting that mixture. And I know people don't like to think about it, but that's the 100% truth on this. That's what you see. The stuff that is way worse is what you don't see. There's a parasite actually called Cryptosporidium, and it survives chlorine. Chlorine can't kill it. And if someone goes in that spa and someone else swallows even a tiny bit of water that has had Cryptosporidium in it, you're literally looking at days and weeks of violent diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. Like, it will hospitalize you for quite a while. So now, when it's your own family pool, a backyard pool, a handful of people, that's one thing. But when it's 50, 100, 200, 300 people a week on a daily basis, that water is a soup of everything that came off everyone's body. Now, I'll clean it, I'll shock it, but I'm not swimming in it. Ugh.
Cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list. Well, I already find myself on many lists, I'm sure. So I speak my mind often, so why not just keep going with it? May as well just go all out and say it. The earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election. So let's just see how many lists we could get on here today. But Mr. Schellenberger, I wanted to ask you, I think I understand from this hearing that you would agree that classifying information like this is not in the best interest of the people. Is that correct?
The anti-vaxxers clearly are the winners at this point, and I think it'll probably stay that way. And I don't want to put any shade on that whatsoever. They came out the best. They have the winning position. The unvaccinated have a current advantage because they feel better. The thing they're not worrying about is what I have to worry about, which is, I wonder if that vaccination 5 years from now
Turns out, unlucky bears really do exist. This one is named Richie, due to albinism. His fur is completely white. He was mistaken for a lost polar bear by an animal protection organization who tranquilized him and sent him to the Arctic. In the icy wilderness, Richie couldn't find food, and being smaller than the polar bears, was chased and bullied by them. Arctic experts noticed his fur was yellowish, different from polar bears, and upon observation, they discovered he was an albino grizzly bear. They tranquilized him again and sent him back to the North American forest. After some time, Ricci was once again mistaken for a polar bear by another animal protection organization and was sent back near the Arctic Circle. This time, Ricci started running to warmer areas. On the way, however, Ricci is dropped off at a nearby polar bear exhibit. Staff there recognized him as an albino grizzly and sent him back to the North American forest.
We found one magic ingredient that does the trick on surface pesticides. Baking soda. Most surface pesticides are unstable at an alkaline pH. Mixing a little baking soda into water creates an alkaline environment, and soaking the produce briefly in this breaks down the pesticide's compounds and helps them wash away. These cards detect two common external pesticides, so we made a vinegar solution and a baking soda solution, and tested both against a plain water rinse. And look at that. The grapes from the baking soda bath is the only strip that turned blue, indicating it was effective at removing these pesticides. 2 teaspoons per quart of water and a 30-second soak is all you need.
Yep, that bird just started a wildfire, and it was no accident. Meet the black kite, also known as the firehawk. It's a medium-sized bird of prey that hunts on things like insects, small mammals, rodents, amphibians, and other birds. But some of them have figured out a more efficient way to hunt using fire. What they do is they'll go find a stick that's on fire, whether they take it from a wildfire or a human, and then they drop it on a really dry area. They know what they're doing. And as the fire begins to spread, they'll go sit at the highest point they can find. And they just sit and watch as all of the animals go running from the habitat, like some real supervillain stuff. At that point, every animal's in the open and they could pick whatever they want. They're actually the only creature outside of humans to utilize fire.
Musiquinha pra mim, toca.